Friday, I don't know if you guys saw, but Zub did his shootout attempt. He scored, and everybody was excited to see him do as a defenseman scoring in the shootout, which brought me to thinking of who's actually done a shootout as a defenseman who's played for the Ottawa Senators. Erik Karlsson had the most. He was 5 for 18. Thomas Chabot, 0 for 2. Patrick Wierkosh, 0 for 2. Brendan Bell, 0 for 1. Cody Ceci, Mike Riley, David Roomblad, and Chris Weidman are the only Ottawa Senator defensemen to ever attempt a shootout. Brendan, do you remember yours against the Boston Bruins?
Oh, thanks for bringing it up, Wally. I like to say that I don't have regrets, and I try to live my life that way. That is one regret that I will always have, that I did not score in that shootout, because man, I loved the shootout. Like in my minor league career, I was always the first shooter. Like I was just good at shootouts. I was a shootout specialist. And so for years and years and years, like in the minors, I'd go like 8 for 9 on the year. One year I was 12 for 14. Like I had a crazy shootout record, 2 moves that worked all the time. And so that year, I was in Binghamton for 10 or 15 games at the start of the year, and I went 3 for 3 in the shootout. Corey Clouston was our coach. Come up to Ottawa, play most of the year. Craig Hartsburg gets fired. Corey Clouston comes up. We get into a shootout against the Boston Bruins at home. And I didn't even, like, Corey and I weren't buddies by any stretch of the imagination or anything, but he certainly had some experience with me in the shootout. So when we go to shootout, like in overtime, I was just hoping we got to the shootout. And so I look back and kind of like make sure that he can see me. And he goes, "Okay, you're up. Let's go. Let's see it." And I was like, thank God I get to do this. Like finally at home too, families in the building, you know, obviously my brothers and my dad, and that they know my shootout history and they're pumped. So I go in, make my move, and Tim Thomas of all people, right? Like very unpredictable, but this works. This move always works. And so I go in, fake forehand, open them up wide. I've got all the room in the world. I'm going to slide it 5-hole. And he kicks his heels back together and stops it on the goal line. And I was like, no, that's it. That's it. That's going to be my one shootout attempt in the NHL. Like, let alone if I play another 5 years, whatever it is. Like, if I get another 300 games in this league, I'm going to be 0 for 1 in the shootout for the rest of my career, because there's not a chance that I'm going to have a coach who's going to back me. And I'm like, I had him, and I 0 for 1 forever.
Hey, but at least you got to do it.
I did get.
I don't even know how. And, like, you know, where do I? Go ahead. Sorry, Walt.
No, I've seen the I've seen the clip. Like, there's a YouTube clip. Dean Brown brought it out last year for something, and the boys at 1200 had a great laugh because Jack Edwards was on the call, and you know Brendan Bell is gonna shoot for the Senators. Okay, don't have a book on this guy.
Jack Edwards isn't biased at all, right? Like, he's not a biased announcer by any means, right?
Yeah, so they use that clip pretty regularly when I was on doing the pre and post game shows. But yeah, I always going to be 0 for 1.
And I recall literally turning down the opportunities like multiple times where, you know, like in exhibition games, maybe the shootouts go on forever. Yep. I wanted no part of them because I just, do I need to state the obvious here? I mean, I couldn't handle a puck worth my life. So I never did it.
What if this was your thing?
What thing are you? What thing? What are you talking about?
You could be a shootout. What if you were a shootout specialist?
My best seasons in the NHL, I had 1 goal. I think 1 year I had 0. I mean, are you kidding me? But I'm a shootout specialist? No.
I could see you as the walk-in, like top of the circle, big slap shot. Oh yeah, yes. For sure. Yeah,
that would be the only option.
Yeah, off the inside of the goalie's leg or something like that, like just through his pad.
Yes,
hard as you can. Not
I would agree with
corner.
That. Just no. Like my eyes are closed, and I'm just shooting the puck as hard as I can.
How exciting is it? And I know you're both defensemen, but when you're on the bench and you see, because it's rare, you see a D-man, unless you're super talented like Erik Karlsson or Thomas Chabot, taking a shootout attempt. Is there a lot of energy watching this transpire?
I always like seeing like the one-offs, right? So if I was on the bench and if I was on the Boston bench and I wasn't me, I would immediately be like, what's this all about? Who's who's this guy? There must be
he must have a special move.
Something to this. Yeah, this is weird. Like I remember the Merrick Malik goal, right? From years and years and years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I remember being a kid and being so pumped that like a defensive defenseman is going in the shootout, and not only going in the shootout, but making a move like that. Like to me, that was like the coolest thing ever. Like Merrick Malik will go down in history for me. I'll never forget Merrick Malik. Like, 6'5", Czech defenseman, couldn't handle the puck to save his life. But
yeah,
remember that shootout goal?
Yeah. Well, he's on the highlight reel every year. Like every time they go top 10 best shootout moves, he's on there. And and it's not just the goal, it's everything. It's the celly, like the air of confidence with the hand up. Yeah, like it was ridiculous. And he's almost making a mockery out of it going through his legs, right? It's like a big F you to everybody out there. So I'm a huge fan of that one as well. That was a great comparison. Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't supposed to go in.
No.
Right? Like he was going to try that, and that was going to hit the goalie in the chest or go over the net or something like that. And it'd be a funny story in the dressing room afterwards.
Exactly.